Hey guys, Tank. Have you ever found yourselves in an impossible scenario? I mean, what really seemed like an unwinnable situation? That was pretty much me in this gameplay. I was trying out new guns other than the BAR, and I was getting whipped around. Like, if you held up a hot dog and you just swung it around like a sword, it wobbles all over the place. Yeah, I was a hot dog. And I was getting slapped at close to medium range with, like, SMGs and other rifles. I was just getting really frustrated and not winning any of the fights. We couldn't capture any of the domination points, and I was like, okay, this is just going to be a huge L. I have to do something different. I was tired of getting slapped around. So what did I do? I pulled out old reliable. I pulled out old Browning automatic rifle, to be exact. And then I just decided to sit back, focus up, and just do what I do best. And I thought, you know what? Maybe we won't win this, but at least I can add a few more deaths to their stats and pad my own at the same time. And before I knew it, by some miracle, we managed to yoink the win away, and we got our first V2 rocket off of it. And looking back at this, it just reminded me a lot of when I was in college and professional school, where things looked real bleak multiple times for me. Coming out of high school, I felt like I was the smartest kid in the world. I had good grades. I had a ton of extracurriculars. I was really popular, and I was just really coasting along and really not being challenged at all. And when I was finally an undergrad in college, I definitely didn't have my priorities in order, and I didn't know what the reality of college was. And I really made my own life hard without me knowing, and just, really struggling for no really good reason at all. I had mediocre grades, and I just kind of lost sight of what the goal for college even was for me. At the time, I felt like it wasn't even for me. Like, I was just really struggling. And I felt like I wasn't even smart, enough to get through it. It just felt really impossible. Like maybe these just aren't in the cards for me. And it took a few wake-up calls for me to really try to change my life. And I was just trying to change it, relax a little bit more, and more importantly, focus up on what was important and trying to get through with decent grades. I had to adapt, to the reality of college. And, maybe it wasn't just a breeze. And I couldn't just coast along like I was in high school. And maybe I wasn't as smart as I thought I was in high school. So I just put my head down and right into my books, and I didn't really consider myself like a hard worker at the time, but I had to learn to put in time and work into getting good grades. And by changing my mentality, I was able to, get decent enough grades and make it through, and finally I was able to graduate from college, although it wasn't very glorious at all. And by the time I made it to professional school, I already knew it was going to be a huge challenge. Not like college at all, and not like high school, definitely. The odds were definitely stacked against you, and for a good reason. Right from the start, I forced myself to start studying even more than I did in college. And looking back at it now, I think a lot of the reason why I even made it through in the first place is because of my friends. These guys really changed the game for me. They really helped me change my mentality on what hard work really looks like and what intelligence actually really looks like. And because of that, I just have a really profound respect for each one of them. One of my more wise friends said, one of the best ways to just start studying is to just turn off your phone and then open your book and just start. Like, just do it. And I promise I'm not being sponsored by Nike, but it was kind of that mentality that I really took on. Just start, just do it. Despite how tough and hard things were, no matter how impossible it felt, the best way to get through these challenges was to really just do it. One of the funniest things we had to do to evaluate our grades was to figure out how many points we could miss on a quiz or a test and still keep a letter grade. Like, in terms of missing points, we used to say, well, I can take the hit. And in terms of, trying to cope and wasting time on things other than studying, we would just try to go like, well, I want to go out to dinner, but, we would justify it with saying, I can take the hit on the quiz tomorrow. And it definitely wasn't optimal, and that was not probably the best mindset, but it helped us, in the long run, get through it with our mental health intact, at least. And it's really that adaptability and being able to step up to challenges that gets you the wins in your life. Impossible and extremely challenging scenarios happen more often than we think. Especially when you volunteer to do it, like going to college or going to professional school. And it's just keeping that open mind and just doing it, maybe surrounding yourself with good friends, is what gets you through those tough times and seemingly impossible challenges. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I'll see you in the next one.